Hey everybody, I'm back with another video. I've been busy for the past few days working at my job, so I've been behind on making content. I didn't think that I would make a part 3 of what black women need to do to be happy. Well, apparently during my absence, I've been thinking about more things that black women need to think about in regards to their happiness. I've talked about and covered how black women need to practice finding self-validation and approval from within themselves and not from other people and men. I've covered how black women should learn to pick better men, not always choosing these low-life black men who only have looks and charisma going for themselves. I've covered how black women need to accept reality and logic for what it is. They need to accept that black men uh, need to accept black men for who we are, and we're just not going to change for nobody unless we really want to. And if we do change, we just do it for ourselves. We did all we could to take care and protect black women, but some of them are just ungrateful and unappreciative. Some take black men, especially the good ones, for granted. Black women need to realize that most black men are not bad men. They just attract uh, the small sector of black men who are low class degenerates. I've covered how black women need to be careful of the friends they make because many of them make bad friends with ungrounded loose cannons who either bring negativity, make them feel miserable, or make them feel insecure. And I just mean just dragging them on their level, like just bringing them down to their level because they aren't happy with their life and who they are. A good grounded woman does not have nothing in common with an ungrounded loose cannon at all. They're two different women, okay? A good grounded woman is virtuous, thoughtful, responsible, and considerate, but an ungrounded loose cannon is anything but. Ungrounded loose cannons don't have morals, values, virtues, principles, and standards. They don't have respect. With these types of women, anything goes, and they don't care about the consequences of their actions, nor do they care about taking responsibility afterwards when shit hits the ceiling fan. Now that we got the recap of the past two videos covered, I think in this video we'll cover what black women need to do to be happy in regards of being comfortable and happy in their own skin. I'm just talking physical because a lot of black women are physically unhappy with themselves. Okay, black women have to learn to embrace their natural looks without having to compare themselves to light-skinned black women or comparing themselves to mixed biracial and racially ambiguous looking women. Black women by default are dark skinned with dark brown eyes, with hair like wool. It's kinky and curly. This is the phenotype of majority of all black people who are dark skinned. By the way, brown skin is dark skin, so don't even try to deflect. From ebony to ivory to chocolate to caramel, all black women come from two black parents, a black man and a black woman. Okay, black people, especially black women, love to use that black women come in all shades deflection in order to include mixed biracial and racially ambiguous looking women to the collective of black women when they're not even real black women to begin with. Mixed biracial women only have one black parent. Racially ambiguous women have one black parent while the other parent is a non-black person sometimes, and other times both the parents are mixed biracial or racially ambiguous themselves. So like for an example, somebody who is racially ambiguous, they may have a white grandparent, but they may have a mixed biracial parent or a black parent together. You see what I mean? So maybe both of her parents are racially ambiguous or mixed biracial. and the grandparents are probably mixed biracial. You see what I mean? The grandparents may be mixed biracial, and the parents may be racially ambiguous. I'm just providing a few examples about how you get a racially ambiguous person. It's like when you take mixed biracial mulattoes and you pair them up with other mixed biracial mulattoes, you get a racially ambiguous person. Technically, you can just call them multiracial. You know, black women during slavery were not light skinned or racially ambiguous looking. When the slaves first when the slaves were first shipped to America, the blacks were all dark skinned, the color of the earth, the color of bronze, with dark brown eyes, with hair like wool. They did not have not once of white or 1 ounce of white or Native American in them when they came off those slave ships. Mixed biracial women aren't real black women because the struggles of a mixed biracial woman is not the same as the struggles of a predominant black woman. Predominant meaning full blooded, a black person with two black parents who make a full blooded black baby. Mixed biracial women and predominant black women who are dark skinned do not get treated the same way. Dark skin is seen as evil and inferior, and kinky hair is seen as unkept in white society. White supremacy, along with the white standard of beauty, has marginalized and demonized the black standard of beauty by casting an inferiority complex on black women, making them feel insecure about themselves regarding their natural looks. They see their natural looks as a curse rather than something unique on its own. This is why black women work hard and invest on straightening their hair, then color it blonde, red, or brown. On top of that, they wear color contacts that make their eyes appear blue, green, hazel, and light brown. All these Caucasian features that black women try to apply on themselves because they're trying to emulate the white standard of beauty. Colorism is a force that stems from white supremacy. It was the white supremacists who invented the ideology because they saw some black women were giving birth to mixed biracial mulattoes, but only because they were having secret affairs with the white slave masters. They wanted to establish a color code to put in place a hierarchy based on skin color: whites at the top, blacks at the bottom, mixed biracial mulattoes in the middle. You get the point, and it was code for how to breed slaves. You know, that's how they separated the light skinned blacks from the darker ones and treated them differently from one another. Black people, especially the dark skinned blacks, wish they were part white and Native American like their light skinned counterparts. Truth of the matter is, majority of all black slaves did not have intercourse with white people, nor did they have intercourse with Native Americans either. Um, all black people wish they had a white or Native American ancestor because they're too insecure about their own black ancestry. So here's the thing: Andrew Jackson had the Indian Removal Act passed, where all Native Americans east of the Mississippi River had to be removed and relocated as far west as Oklahoma. The act was passed in 1830, some 35 years before slavery even ended. Slavery ended in 1865, so by then all of the Native Americans were gone. So how is it that any black person between 1865 and 1950 met a full-blooded Native American and had kids by them? Why would a Native American have kids by a black person anyway? So here's the truth: our great grandmother, or our great great grandmother, or our great 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 grandmother were prostitutes, part time prostitutes and mistresses, selling themselves or working for housemaids for married white men. That's what happened. I mean, it was simple. All she had to do was sleep with a white guy while her husband was at work, and she got pregnant, then have the baby. And when it came out light skinned, all the black woman had to do was say she had Native American in her family or in her blood, and it just skipped a few generations when she didn't. When she didn't have Native American in her family, and that she didn't have any genes that skipped. The black man prior to 1970 didn't understand jack shit about genetics, so of course he would believe such a story rather than considering that she slept with a white man. Even after slavery, you still had black women working for housemaids for white people, and some of them were sleeping around with white guys just for an extra buck. Sometimes you had black women who were prostituting themselves at certain times of the night, especially on weekends in white people's neighborhoods. Now you know why so many light-skinned black people in the black community. Back then, black women took their whore history or their past, and they took that shit to the grave with them, and their husbands never found out that they slept with those white guys. Speaking of prostitution, a lot of black women today don't know that they are prostitutes by technicality. I'm speaking in terms of the black dating culture. Anytime you want a man uh, anytime you want a man to be in a commitment for financial gain and support reasons, it's prostitution. If your reason for dealing with a man is about money more than it is about love, then it's prostitution. If you feel like your time and attention should be paid for, then it's prostitution. A lot of black women do not know how to get to know a man without him having to spend money on her. Everything to her is just a chore because it seems like everything is too much to ask for. That's why she's always charging for everything she does, or she's always looking for something in return. She doesn't really believe in doing nothing for free out of the generosity of her heart, as so far as what she does for her kids. But when it just comes to men, that's another story. A lot of black women do not understand this because feminism, along with the whole culture, has brainwashed them into thinking that the world works around them and that everything has a price. The exchange of sex is love and more sex, not money. But anyway, that's all I have for this video. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have any topics or questions, put it in the comment section below. Be sure to like the Wrong Turn group and fan page on Facebook. The link is in the description box below. And with that just being said, thank you.